Post Financials to Project Data Part 1. In Part 1, we're going to cover these 4 topics: how to select projects for posting, which financial values can be posted, where the posted values go on the project data sheet, and some considerations regarding the get data date range. Consistent with other operations in PDWare portfolio, the selection of projects on which to operate can be made in a number of different ways. You can select a single project and issue the post to project command. You can make an extended selection, right-click, post to project, or click the post icon in the toolbar, financial toolbar. You can create a disjointed selection using Control left click after making your initial selection. And finally, if the selection at the time of the post command is anywhere in the rows above the table, by implication, all projects are selected. This method of selecting the projects explicitly is equivalent to selecting any cell above the table and issuing the command. Now, the question is, what values from the financials are posted to the project data sheet? So let's look at one project, Tozzle. And instead of just looking at total cost, I'm going to look at all of the summary values that are available. And as you can see, for every project, I have a summary value for all capital items, financial items, all labor items, all non-labor items. These are summarized into total cost. There is a revenue item, which would summarize any revenue financial assignments from the financial detail sheet, and a net of revenue minus cost, which is simply revenue minus total cost. So as you can see, for every project, we have 36 values. There are 6 summaries, and there are 6 value types: baseline forecast, actual forecast, the variance as defined by the user, and a variance percent. So the result is that when you post to a user-defined field on project data, you post one value from this grid for each project. And so the issue, which we will explore in Part 2, is how do you create specifications for exactly which values to post and to where they are going to be posted when the command is issued. Now, where are these values posted? I'm going to back arrow and go back to the project data sheet. And as you can see, I have exposed here 3 fields on the project data sheet. These are user-defined fields which have been given names by the administrator that reflect some of the financial values that we've just looked at. And so when I create a post specification, I will identify a destination column by this name, and I will specify the value type. Now, in terms of the get data considerations, let's go in here and look at the financial detail for Tozzle. And as you can see, I have taken out only 6 months worth of data. And for many of my financial items, I have no values whatsoever. So that means that on the BFA, Baseline Forecast Actual sheet or view, The numbers here in my forecast, my baselines, my actuals, are only going to include values from that 6-month period, and that will be, of course, misleading. So what I'm going to want to do is when I get data, I am going to want to ensure that I get data that includes all the values, financial values and effort values for my labor forecast, that the projects in my selection on the get data include. So first of all, to do a financial posting, we're going to probably want to have the granularity greater than month mode. So let's choose years mode. And now I want to ask the system to identify how many periods I would need to take out in this granularity in order to comprehend all of the values for both labor assignments on effort forecast and financial assignments on the financial detail sheet in the financial module. The use effort dates comprehends both effort forecast and financial detail. So although I've specified a start date and a number of years here, and let's say I initially have started with 3 years, when I select use effort dates, the system will look and see if this start date is inclusive of the year in which those effort and financial values begin, and in the 3 years includes all of the financial values for all the time that has been recorded. So let's look, and we say use effort dates, and notice that the system has determined that from 1/1/2012 I would have to go out 9 years to include all the financial values. So I'm going to get data for that entire period in that granularity, and I will now be ready to do my posting of financials. That concludes part 1.